Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today we're here to talk about the new Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros, but out. And I have all four colors. Not only do I have them in purple and in white, I also have the black ones. And then there's also this kind of grayish green color. Like, I don't want to call it gray and I don't want to call it green. But that's one of the things I wanted to showcase in this video. You're going to get to see all four colors. So if you want to go buy them, you can see which ones that you actually want. It's not like, oh, I saw the black ones, I saw the purple ones, whatever. So we're going to cover that. But most importantly, the review. And I absolutely love these earbuds. And I'm going to tell you all about it in this video because we're going to talk about price, we're going to talk about performance, we're going to talk about the app, we're going to cover everything. So make sure you watch the video all the way to the end so you can get a big picture on everything about these earbuds. But before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. And if you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Let's take a look at these Liberty 3 Pro earbuds. So like I said, I've got all four colors. You're going to see them here. Check out the B-roll. It's shiny. It looks really nice. So we'll take a look at these first. And at first I were told they were kind of green, but then when I show up, it's like a mist gray color. It has like a gray with like a little bit of a green tinge to it. One thing I really love is they're slippery, so be careful, especially if your hands are dry. So I like this part where you slide the door up. There's like a little light here and it lights up and you can see the earbuds on the inside. And really it's just the same light as the one on the front that tells you the battery level, which is convenient. You get 3 different levels of charge. You get 8 hours total overall battery time. Now, that's in ideal conditions. If you're listening to it at 100% active noise cancellation or transparency mode on, you're not going to get probably 8 hours. But you get 3 recharges, so 8 hours and then 16, 24, 32. So a total of 3 charges. That's what those dots are for. Now, the earbuds themselves, these are a follow-up from last year's Liberty 2 Pros. And the Liberty 2 Pros took everybody by storm. They gave such amazing sound and performance and power for way less than the competition. And that's really the same thing here with these. They're like $169, and I believe there's like a $20 discount for like the first week if you buy them now. So you've got that going for you. And just for transparency's sake, these were sent out to me by Soundcore. I'm not being paid for this. This is not a sponsored video. They just sent me the earbuds, and then I was like, you've got 4 colors? Send me all of them. So then they sent me all of them. So never hurts to ask, I guess. Anyway, so I got 4 pair. They're very nice, and I've been covering Soundcore for a long time, like 5 years. If you go back, and if you've been following me for like 4 years, bless your heart, I appreciate it. If you haven't, way back in the day, I made some Soundcore earbuds. It used to be Anchor Soundcore back then because Anchor is the company, Soundcore falls underneath them. Kind of like Eufy with their home security stuff. So these guys, been working with them for a long time, and year over year over year, consistently they get better and better and better and better. Like these now are better than the Sonys. And I actually went out and I bought the Sonys. Like I bought them just so I could test them and compare them to these. These are $300 earbuds. These are basically twice as much as the Liberty 3 Pros, and these sound better. Now there is something to the Sonys. I'm going to cover that. I've actually got a comparison video. Watch that one after this one because it's going to be right after this one. I'm launching them basically at the same time. So you can watch the comparison video and see side by side which is better when it comes to the Sonys. You can check out that video after that. But moral of the story, these are better. And I wasn't paid to say that. I just genuinely think they're better. So the case is nice. Wireless charging. This on the back, you charge it with USB-C. This button is important. You use that to reset the earbud. So if you ever need to repair them to something else, you put them in the case, you press and hold that button down, the light will flash. That's how you get ready to pair them to another device. But you can connect it to 2. You can simultaneously connect these to 2 different devices. So if you want to connect it to your phone, you want to connect it to your laptop, you can have 2 different devices working. So that's really kind of a neat thing. Not a lot of different earbuds offer that. So other stuff going on here. It has, they call it AACA 2.0. That stands for the so many words. Astria Coaxial Acoustic Architecture 2.0. What that means is there's a tweeter in here, effectively. In earbud terminology, you have that balanced armature. There inside of here, you've got the regular driver, which is the speaker, which is about 11 millimeters, and then you've got the smaller tweeter. So you basically have 2 speakers in there. So that's how the Liberty Pros give you such amazing lows and amazing highs. When you look at a lot of other earbuds, everything's trying to come out of one speaker. So usually that gets muddied by the bass, and which is usually way too loud anyway, and it may not even have an app that you can customize the sound experience to tune it the way you want it to. And it's probably expensive. So when you look at the Liberty 3 Pros, you get the 2 speakers in there. Basically, that gives you a much better overall experience because the power is going individually to each one, and then they're designed for 2 different jobs. And what's better, one person that does 2 jobs or 2 people that each do their own job? The same thing applies when it comes to speakers. So you're going to get really good highs. You're going to be able to hear all that stuff, the distinct hi-hats, the cymbals, a lot of different things that you don't normally hear. And that's the 2 things you're going to notice when you put these in your ears and listen to them. The first thing is going to be, wow, this bass is amazing. And wow, I can hear instruments I've never heard before. And that was true with the Liberty 2 Pros. It's even more true now. They're more lightweight. They're more comfortable. Here, let's go ahead and do the wear test. Let's get that out of the way. So these look very much like the last ones. They're slightly more ergonomic. They're lighter. And that is a big thing for me because the last ones, I would kind of get ear fatigue after wearing them for a long time. These right here, much more comfortable, much more better design, and they're lightweight. And the ear tips are amazing. The ear tips are so easy to remove. Watch this. It comes right off. But here's the beauty of it. A lot of times you have trouble putting ear tips back on. Watch how easy this is. One finger. One finger. You can put the ear tip on there. So also you've got a sensor right here. This lets the earbud know if it's in your ear or not. So if you take it out of your ear, it will now pause, which is a feature that you get with like the AirPod Pros and all that other stuff. You take it out of your ear, it doesn't keep playing. That's really nice, especially if you like to use these at work. You want to use them in a more intimate environment where you don't want people hearing your earbuds blaring as soon as you take them out of your ears. You take them out, the sensor recognizes that, it turns it off, it pauses it. So we'll put it in, you put it in, and then you give it a little bit of a turn and it locks into place. So it'll stay in there pretty darn good. You don't have to worry about them falling out. They're perfect for the gym, perfect for exercise, and it gives you such a good experience because it locks in. Like you get the driver, it goes down, the ear tip seats really well in the ear canal, so you get that great sound isolation. What they used to call passive noise cancellation. So the better the seal, the better the sound experience you get. So there are 4 sets of ear tips and 4 sets of ear stabilizers in here. So that way you can get the best experience possible. And you're going to do that by making sure you get the proper fit. It talks about that inside the box and on the app. So we'll put this one in too. You put it in, you turn it and lock it into place. Ta-da! They fit great. And on top of that, they're comfortable, they're more lightweight. They have metal, so they're actually a little bit of cool sensation when you put them in. That's kind of neat. I guess it would work inversely. Don't leave them in your car because they'll get like 150 degrees and then they'll be real warm when you put them in. But I like them. You got a total of 6 microphones in the whole set. So that's like 3 per earbud. Got some sound isolation there too. So if you make phone calls, people are going to be able to hear you really well, and then you can hear them. It wasn't the most amazing phone experience I've ever had. It's very good. It's perfectly manageable. It's just, I've never gotten otherworldly excited about making phone calls with earbuds. You can, as long as you can hear and talk just fine, that's good. But when it comes to these, it's good. It's not the most amazing. Those microphones really come in clutch, so for the other person being able to hear you. And they'll tell a noticeable difference. You put in some cheap earbuds, you put these in, you call your friend, call your mom, call whoever, they'll be able to hear you much better because of the sound isolation on the microphones. So they fit nice, easy to put in, nice and comfortable. Recap, 4 sets of ear tips, 4 sets of stabilizers. You're good to go there. So in addition to that, they're also touch sensitive. And to do that, you just tap on the outside. You can program that and set it up in the app. So you can do a single tap, a double tap, triple tap, or tap and hold. And you can set that for volume up, voice assistant, answer call, hang up call, next song, player pause. It's great. I really like that. The Soundcore app, to me, is still the best app whenever it comes to customization. And that's almost half of the video itself. These things sound good straight out of the box. And then you get into the customization, you get into the tuning, and then things get pretty great because that's where you get the best sound. That's where you customize it the way you want it. There's already a bunch of different equalizers in there, and it's like 20 different Grammy award-winning audio producers sign off on these things. So that right there is a big industry seal of approval. And they have the Tech Odyssey seal of approval. And a lot of people don't know this because I make so many phone videos. I actually got started reviewing a lot of earbuds. I reviewed a lot of earbuds for a long time, a lot of Soundcore ones. And these right here are the best ever. And what's also the best ever with them is their new active noise cancellation. They have microphones on the outside that pick things up for two reasons. One, they use this algorithm-based stuff inside of the earbud with the processor to eliminate noise and reduce it at like the mid-range level, certain different decibels and hertz. So primarily what that focuses on is common noises in a certain spectrum. It doesn't eliminate noise, it reduces noise. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear that anymore. You put these things in your ears, it's gone. Like 80% of it. And it was kind of subtle. I was sitting there listening to some music and I'm like, okay, let me turn on this active noise cancellation, see how good it is. And then I always test this with my oscillating fan in my room and it goes, like I thought that something was wrong. I thought maybe like the fan turned off. It's pretty good. So you get the active noise cancellation. That's great for traveling. If you go on airplanes and you're constantly hearing that loud kind of hum noise because they've got two giant jet engines on your plane connected to the wing that is attached to the plane where you sit. There's some noise. You're going 530 miles per hour. These will get rid of that. So if you want to go on a plane trip, now that you can travel more, if you ride public transportation, if you don't like car noise and you're going on a long trip, the active noise cancellation on these is top notch. It's very good. And then you get transparency mode. And you're like, what's that? Well, we all like transparency. That means that it allows the sound to come through. It uses these microphones on the outside not only to pick up sound and eliminate it before it gets to you, it also works to pick up sound so you can hear it. And that allows noise to come through while you're listening. So if you're listening to music, you have transparency mode on, you can adjust the level so you can make it stronger or weaker. You can hear people talking, you can hear cars go by, you can hear horns, you can hear different things you need to so you can initiate a conversation with someone, hear if someone's talking to you, or just for personal safety so you don't get run over if you're out jogging or walking by the street. So active noise cancellation, fantastic. Transparency mode, top notch. You've got both of those, and then you get the customizable equalizer. You get HearID, which is your own individual sound signature. You do a hearing test, and it reminds me so much of when I was in the military. Every year I gotta go do the hearing test. They do all the different tones, and they go beep, 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 and you press the button when you can hear it. You do that here, and it sets it up, and it works on different frequencies. So you'll hear the different tones in one ear, and then you'll finish that one, you'll go to the next ear. As you're doing that, it's actually testing your hearing to see what frequencies that your ears are responsive to so you can get the best sound experience for you. So everything about this is customizable and tailored for your individual comfort and your listening experience. So you get comfort, you get stability, you get a really nice fit so you can set it up how you want. Ear stabilizers, ear tips, the HearID customizable signature, and then there's a whole bunch of preset equalizers as well. The Soundcore signature one is top notch, so is the piano one. They've got other ones in there. They've got rock, they've got alt, they've got, check it out. And then test those out because you can set it up. That's a global equalizer, by the way. If you are set it up in the app, you go to Spotify, you go to Rhapsody, you go to whatever, it will translate to that. So I always tell people this, make sure you go to your individual apps. If you use Spotify all the time and you customize the EQ, set it to default, because if you don't, you're going to have the customized EQ for Soundcore, and then it's going to be double equalizing it with your app. So if you have apps, make sure that those equalizers are set to default. So do that. Do yourself a favor. I did that once. I didn't realize what was happening, and I had it down kind of low on Spotify, and then I went to go to the Soundcore one, and then I turned the EQ on, and I was like, where'd the bass go? Where'd the music go? Why is this so quiet? Man, I must have got a bad pair of earbuds. And then I realized what was happening, and it's like, oh, there we go. That fixed it. So another tidbit, again, I talked about this earlier, make sure you get the right fit. Make sure you get the right ear tips. Make sure you get the right ear stabilizers. If you don't have the right ear tips, that sound will escape outside around it, and it doesn't get trapped in your ear where you're supposed to hear it. And you can make a really amazing pair of earbuds sound like not so good by not having the right ear tips. So play around with it. If you usually use a medium and you feel like it's not quite right, try the large, try the small, and get it set up how you want. So noise cancellation, great. Transparency mode, great. Microphones, they're good for phone calls. They're good for all that stuff. It's perfectly fine for phone calls. There's not a game mode on here. I know people are going to ask me, you can play games. There's a little bit of latency. It's not perfect. So it's fine. It's very playable. It's very usable. If you're typing away on your iPhone, like the click will be like a quarter of a second behind when you're actually typing, maybe like a tenth of a second. It's not a long time. There used to be some where it was terrible. Like you could be done typing a word and you're still hearing the clicking. So you've got that. There's no isolated game mode. So you might have some latency there playing games, just depending on which ones, but it's fine with YouTube. It's fine with Netflix. You don't really have a problem with TV shows and movies. It's more games. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is LDAC. LDAC is a codec designed by Sony. So this is certified as certified codec by Sony that gives you basically high quality audio, up to 32-bit quality audio, higher hertz, higher bit rate, all that jazz. So if you have an Android phone, though, you can use that. If you have an iPhone, iPhone doesn't support LDAC. They don't support that. So you will never get high res out of these earbuds with an iPhone. The experience for the sound is better overall in that department on Samsung, especially, or Android, especially when it comes to using like Dolby and other things like that. The AAC codec works perfectly fine with iOS, but if you have an Android phone, you're likely going to get a better sound experience out of these. So that's another thing. The app works for Android, it works for iOS, but that's the difference you'll see in Android as you get LDAC. And if you care about that, you can get it. We're talking much higher on the hertz spectrum, much better sound. You can hear better, better compression, better overall sound stage. And you know, I haven't even talked about the sound. The sound is pristine. This is probably the best bass I've ever heard in a set of earbuds. Man, it's good. It has tone. And that's something you don't get with a lot of bass. A lot of times you listen to bass and it's just boom, 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 buzz, buzz. You can hear the individual tones whenever that drum is hitting, whenever the bass is hitting. It sounds good. It's nice. It's tight. It's one wrapped up package where it just sounds good. Mids are good. Vocals are good. The highs are very, very good as well because of that armature that's in there. So you're going to get a great sound experience. And the best part about it is you can customize it however you want. You can do the HearID. You can do the different setup equalizers already. You can customize it. I customize mine a lot all the time so I can get the ideal sound experience for me. So excellent sound stage, great separation, and because of the balanced armature, because of the actual dedicated speaker that's in there, the driver, you're going to get a top-notch sound experience, and all of that for like half the price of the Sonys. You're going to get this like $169, and I can pretty much guarantee you by Christmas they're going to be on sale. They're really good, and if you can get $20 off right now, do that as well. I've got a link down in the description. You can click on that. And also it's an affiliate link, so if you buy it through that, I get a kickback from that to help support the channel, and you can watch more of these amazing videos if you find it amazing. So fantastic. And like I said, I love these earbuds. I even went out and, like I said, I wanted to test it and get a litmus test and go, okay, this is the standard. How good are they actually? And I went out, paid $300. I bought these Sonys, the best ones that they have, the XM4s, 1000. They call them wacky names. So $300, which these directly compete against. These are more comfortable, they sound better, and you're going to love them. But I was actually going to have my wife be in the video. I let her hear them, and I said, here, listen to the Sonys. And she did, and she's like, wow, this is pretty good. And then I handed her the Soundcores, and she's like, wow, these sound better than those. Which ones are these? Are these the Sonys? I said, no, these are the Soundcores. So even my wife, who's not an audiophile earbud person at all, listens to her AirPods Pro all the time, she loves these things, and that's another sign off as well. So that's pretty much it. I know it's a lot. I mean, it's like 20 minutes on this video, but there's just so much to cover. I was initially going into this, I'm like, okay guys, I'm going to cover this in like 8 to 10 minutes. We'll get it out of the way. But as you can see as I'm talking about it, I get energized about these things. It's been a long time since I've covered some earbuds, but nothing in this caliber that I've listened to. And at $169, it's pretty much unbeatable. And I'm glad that these came out this time of the year. It's getting ready for the holiday season. It's almost perfect for Christmas and holiday shopping. $169, half the price of the Sonys, and a better sound experience. So you can't go wrong with them. 4 different colors. We looked at that as well. Everything you could ask for. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoy the video, or the movie, it's almost as long as a Netflix special. Sorry guys, it's just so much stuff. and I wanted to cover it and give you like the complete package picture of everything. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you enduring this. And I'll see you guys next time.